And we are live. So, I was going to use this time slot to talk about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. And if you were here last night when I was here with Frank from The Harsh Truth talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, you would have known that, I announced at 1 o'clock I was going to be doing that. But I realized something, and that is that Hollywood is about to commit one of the greatest blasphemies in the history of science fiction, fantasy, in the paranormal, in horror, and that is the reboot of The X-Files. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that The X-Files is my all-time favorite television series. We're talking about 11 seasons, all right there on Blu-ray, both movies, everything X-Files related. When the first movie dropped, X-Files Fight for the Future, I was there at Javits Convention Center. I think it was the only convention, X-Files convention that took place during that year. I am an X-Files fanatic. I've been watching the show sporadically, on repeat every so often, every few years. It'll be on a streaming service. Right now it's streaming on Hulu, and I'll just start from episode 1 and go all the way through till we get to the final episode in that season 11, I guess you want to call it. And it's had fluctuations. There were times in the X-Files when Duchovny wasn't there, and they replaced him with Robert Patrick, who turned out to be a very solid lead, and Scully becomes the believer as Patrick becomes the skeptic, slowly converting over. You've had just about everybody in there, that you would recognize in modern Hollywood today has done, a bit part or played a part in the X-Files. But then I found out that there might be, or it looks like there's going to be a reboot of that. And this is where I fucking draw the line. Okay? And so just on a lark, I decided to look at the reboots and remakes that Hollywood just seems to be shoving down our throats, one after the other. The one, and then another, and then another, and then another. So here is, really quick, a list of the reboots and remakes that have happened since 2010. Okay, and we're looking at, this is from Insider Magazine, 79 movies that were remade. This isn't even television. Okay, we've got The Wolfman, Benicio del Toro, and most of these are not good. Remade The Wolfman. Horror film The Crazies. I don't know that, with Timothy Oliphant. I like Oliphant. We had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Clash of the Titans. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. Death at a Funeral. Robin Hood. The Karate Kid. Piranha. Where is the original? I mean, there is some original content, but wow. They did Let the Right One In. They did a remake of that. A movie called The Tourist. Soon the Darkness, I don't know that. True Grit, Haley Steinfeld. Gulliver's Travels, Jason Statham back as the mechanic. Jane Eyre, they remade Arthur. Fright Night, Straw Dogs, Footloose, The Thing, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Three Musketeers, The Woman in Black. Well, that really wasn't a remake. LOL. I don't know what that is. Total Recall. Dread. Anna Karenina. Red Dawn. Gatsby. Romeo and Juliet. Carrie. Great Expectations. Old Boy. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. About Last Night. They did a black, About Last Night. RoboCop. Endless Love. Good Lord, the bad one. The first one was bad enough. Something called Gambit. I don't know what that is. Sleeping Beauty. This really isn't a remake because I don't think there has been a Sound and the Fury. Annie, they did a Black Annie. The Gambler, okay? The Loft, I don't know what that is. Cinderella, Poltergeist, The Secret in Their Eyes, I don't know what that is. Another Frankenstein, Point Break, Martyrs, which is just torture porn, Cabin Fever, The Jungle Book, Pete's Dragon, Ben-Hur. They remade Ben-Hur. The Magnificent Seven, Beauty and the Beast, Going in Style, The Mummy, The Beguiled, off of the old Clint Eastwood film, Flatliners. That was when Ellen Page was a girl, which, never mind. Murder on the Orient Express, Journey's End, I don't know that one. Overboard, the Goldie Hawn original, Papillon, Little Women, A Star is Born, Suspiria, another Robin Hood, The Jungle Book, Intouchables, I don't know what that is. What Women Want. They did a gender-swapped What Women Want based off the Mel Gibson film. Dumbo, Pet Sematary, Aladdin, Child's Play, The Lion King, Lady and the Tramp, Black Christmas, another Little Women. I mean, it never stops with these fucking remakes and reboots. And I'm going to break off here. And these are just the cinema remakes. They aren't even talking about television. But, and, you know, all of that I could grumble about and, you know, just kind of get past because you either want to watch it or you don't, you know. And some of those were okay. I liked the Suspiria remake. I thought it was better than the original because I think Argento movies suck. I liked Ridley Scott's Robin Hood, especially that director's cut. His director's cuts are special things. You know, we've got an upcoming reboot of Salem's Lot coming up. You know, these things, they just never stop, though, and there's just very little original content. Fewer and fewer because we constantly get caught up in reboots and remakes. But this is where I draw the line, and I'm talking about The X-Files, how Ryan Coogler's reboot can explore contemporary conspiracy theories. Fuck off, okay? This is from June 22nd. This is about a week ago, or a little over a week. Can Ryan Coogler's reboot of The X-Files lean into conspiracy theories in the same way as the original show? Probably not. You fucking think so? Because The X-Files pretty much covered everything, from UFOs to government conspiracies to paranormal experiences, to the demonic, if werewolves, vampires. They covered everything over 11 seasons. So here we go with Ryan Coogler, who I'm no real fan of. Black Panther was okay, except that I actually enjoyed the villain Killmonger more than I enjoyed the frickin' Wakandans. Ryan Coogler, and this is written by Kate Bove. Ryan Coogler, the writer-director behind Fruitvale Station, I don't know what that is, and Black Panther, wants to believe, quote-unquote, or that's the rumor anyway, during an interview celebrating the 30th anniversary of The X-Files. Creator Chris Carter revealed that Coogler is in talks to, quote, remount The X-Files with a diverse cast. I say again, fuck off. Okay, the groundbreaking series aired from 1993 to 2001 on Fox, starring Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny as special agents Dana Scully and Fox Mulder, respectively. Scully and Mulder are two of the greatest characters in all of science fiction, fantasy, paranormal. They were perfectly cast. And now here comes this guy, as if there isn't a franchise left to just deconstruct and shit on. Although Coogler hasn't confirmed his involvement in the X-Files reboot, and this is one of the few opportunities where I'm actually hoping that these strikes just sort of shelve. I do not want the film industry or the television industry in my country to collapse, but I hope that these strikes just shelve all of these fucking projects. Although Coogler hasn't confirmed his involvement in the X-Files in an X-Files reboot, Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox has already led to the green lighting of other reboots of popular series. He's got his work cut out for him, Carter said of Coogler's alleged involvement in the X-Files remount. It doesn't sound like he's particularly thrilled. Carter did a really great job with the X-Files, and then also with a lesser-known series called Millennium with the great Lance Henriksen. While his assessment isn't wrong, it's also true that the contemporary television, cultural, and political landscapes are dramatically different than they were 30 years ago. The 90s were just a magic time of just great subversive films, television programs with a new generation of performer and directors who were just, firing right off. And giving you some really great fucking content. And yeah, this is probably one of the dumbest times I've seen creatively 30 years later now in the 2020s in terms of television, with a few exceptions, and film. And we just got through talking about what they did, last night to the Indiana Jones franchise, and the week before that talking about The Flash and a couple of other things. Is the X-Files getting rebooted? Proximity, the multimedia company Ryan Coogler co-founded with his wife and Hollywood producer Zinzi Coogler, who did Creed, which is okay, is known for diverse film projects. I say again, fuck off, because that's my Tourette's response to. I don't have Tourette's, but I'm just saying it's my response to diverse. Past credits range from Oscar-winning Judas and the Black Messiah. Don't care. To the documentary Stephen Curry Underrated. 2023. I don't like basketball. Currently, the company's only officially announced TV project is Ironheart, an entry in the MCU. Oh, fuck. No, do not fucking do this. While Coogler and Proximity have yet to officially comment on Chris Carter's reveal, an X-Files reboot seems inevitable. Fuck off. In today's media landscape, streaming platforms love two things: safe bets, which basically means fucking unoriginal bullshit that they just completely disembowel the quality of, and nostalgia. Given the X-Files' devout fan base, the series is a perfect candidate for a 2023 update. Thankfully, there's a writer's strike going on right now, and we'll just hopefully kick this can right over a fucking cliff. After the original run of the series ended in the early 2000s, the X-Files has spawned two films and a short-lived revival, which aired from 2016 to 2018. Yeah, it did that with Chris Carter at the helm. It did that with David Duchovny at the helm, with Gillian Anderson at the helm. That's how it did it. Because that's what the X-Files is. The X-Files are Fox Mulder, Dana Scully, Walter Skinner, and the supporting cast from there. Stars Gillian Anderson is reportedly uninterested in returning yet again to the series because she's actually become something more than that, which kind of puts a nail in the coffin of the series continuation. The show needs both its skeptic and its believer in that it's that dynamic, the push and pull between Scully and Mulder that makes it all come together. With that in mind, reboot seems more likely than a comeback. Fuck off. How Ryan Coogler's X-Files can explore contemporary conspiracy theories. Yeah, like how Hollywood keeps fucking up beloved franchises with this bullshit, diverse bullshit. A new or rebooted series within the world of the X-Files is a tall order, even someone as successful as Ryan Coogler. I hate to break the news to you, but the Black Panther was not that great a movie. Sure, it made $1 billion, but I think it was a lot of fucking hype train It wasn't that good of a movie. I enjoyed the Black Panther character. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, but I thought he had a much more solid introduction and portrayal in the Russo brothers' Civil War and in the Russo brothers' Infinity War than he did in his own movie. Current cultural and political landscapes make the project even more challenging. So maybe this could be like that HBO reboot they did of Watchmen, which was just a complete shit show. Today, conspiracy theorists aren't fringe figures, sequestered as Mulder was in the 1990s to windowless basement offices. Instead, they are emboldened and amplified by the internet. The ubiquity of social media allows misinformation to spread rapidly. Yeah, just not by who you think, probably. Conspiracy theorists now build large followings easily. This all has real-world consequences. Take, for example, online communities that claim the COVID-19 pandemic was a hoax. Here we go. Okay, I don't know what the fuck this has to do with the X-Files. I mean, I do, but I can already see the self-insert here. That dangerous line of thinking resulted in deaths. Watching conspiratorial harm play out in the news makes TV shows about shady government entities and people who want to believe more difficult to stomach. Fuck off. Even the 2016 revival of The X-Files had trouble towing that line. The series wasn't as escapist as it might have felt in the less political UFO-centric 1990s version. Instead, the revival leaned into current events to mixed results. Watching fan favorites tackle current events can feel on the nose at best. That's why you should leave it the fuck alone. At worst, it means platforming those who spearhead misinformation. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. You can smell the shit. This was a difficult notion for the X-Files revival to square with. One of its protagonists, Fox Mulder, was defined by his belief in conspiracies and the supernatural. While the monsters and mythology remain in the revival, the two-season continuation of the X-Files grapples with the harmful epidemic of conspiracy theories in the U.S. In season 11, Mulder tackles this head-on, saying, "Who would have thought we'd look back with nostalgia and say that was a simpler time, Scully? Everything we feared came to pass." You think? In one episode, Mulder remarks on his inability to suss out hidden connections these days, wondering if the world is too unhinged now, even for him. Given the erosion of trust in America's current political landscape, it's hard to imagine shadowy plots orchestrated by cigarette-smoking men, really, and eager to colonize extraterrestrials. Yeah, because I'm sure the extraterrestrials aren't going to visit this place for another 50 years. Long story short, conspiracy theories in the 2020s are too dangerous to seem like fun TV fare. Wow. Okay. So given this particular environment, how can Ryan Coogler's reported reboot of the Fox X-Files succeed? It's hard to imagine that an X-Files reboot could focus solely on harmless but fascinating conspiracies like UFOs and the existence of Bigfoot without also exploring the harmful ones. Perhaps the answer is as simple as looking at why people believe. Mulder's belief in far-flung ideas. Now, here's an idea if you wanted to do something. You could do that. You could go and just go right at the government. You could go right at the government in the television series and talk about conspiracies. Criminality, just the same series. It wouldn't be the same because it's the 90s, but you could just go at the government in that way. That would be one thing. The FBI, you could go at that in one way. There are ways to do this. I don't want it done because I'm content to just let things end, and understanding that everything sort of has just a natural lifespan. And so it has, a beginning, a middle, and, an ending. So when it ended in 2018, I was fine with it. I don't need it brought back, especially without Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. But there would be a way to do it, but not according to this reporter, because that's too dangerous. Mulder's belief in far-flung ideas came from a desire to reveal truth and save humanity. Today, most conspiracy theorists aren't as well intentioned. Some make money off of misinformation, while others gain social currency, probably like the writer of this article. Not to mention the mainstreaming of outlandish conspiracies serve to distract from more pressing issues. Can an X-Files reboot balance exploration of belief with its monster of the week origins? That remains to be seen, but Coogler, who balances various genres expertly, I don't know who told her that, seems like a great creative to lead this vision. And then from there, it just kind of go, will they return? Hold on a second. Hit that paywall. Currently, there are no plans for Scully and Mulder to return. And it's probably for the best if Mulder and Scully aren't involved in a reboot. Yeah, I would say so. Coogler's reimagining needs to stand on its own and have room to do its own thing. Already, an X-Files reboot is a tall order. Coogler or whoever helms the project doesn't need to make the shadow of the original show and its unforgettable stars more apparent. Well, from my perspective, if you actually believe that you're going to replace David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, or the characters Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, I think you're kind of in delusion land. This is not something that should happen. It's not something that needs to happen. And hopefully it won't fucking happen. I don't care who helms it. At this point, looking at it, I don't even know that I want Chris Carter to come back and do it. And I'm sure he doesn't, because it's reached its natural conclusion. But Hollywood, in its never-ending need for unoriginal bullshit, along with the hack of the day who is just willing to drive something from the past into the ground, clearly does not feel that way. Okay, that's my video. Let me know what you think about in the comments. Like this video. It helps a lot. Put a comment down. Subscribe to the channel. I've got some more stuff coming up because I've just discovered some more remakes and reboots that I'm deeply fucking bothered by. So I'll be getting into that. Yeah, and happy 4th of July. I might do a video later. I don't think I'm going to do one tomorrow. It's the 4th of July, and I want to be with my family. But for everybody else, take care and have a good one. All right, everybody.